Right, welcome ladies and gents. So, the title of this video, pretty blunt, pretty much to the point, but it's fascinating that this is seemingly like news to a lot of people. They're wowed by it. They're like, oh my god, what? Really? Yeah. No shit. Come on. Get with it. People don't want to be lectured. People don't want to be, they just want to be entertained. Now, arguably, of course, you can look at Barbie as a movie which, I don't know, does lecture you, I'm sure, whatever. But on a purely simplistic level, loads of people just thought, oh, this would be entertaining. So nearly a quarter of Barbie filmgoers had not been in the US, had not been to the theatre to watch a movie since before the COVID pandemic. So what does that tell you? It tells you a few things. On the lead up to that situation, they'd got weary and tired of movies. So when they had a break and then films started coming back, they didn't feel like they were missing anything. Now, arguably, of course, Hollywood will take the wrong message from this. Absolutely, unequivocally they will. But this is like a no-brainer, of course. You know, this is bound to happen. Now, I had a conversation with someone earlier, a buddy of mine, and they were speaking about Oppenheimer and Barbie, and they were like, Oppenheimer, according to people he knows, is one of the best movies that they've seen in years. And you're like, yeah, maybe it might be a better film. It might be one of the best films in years. But is it entertaining? Does it entertain you? People just want to be entertained at the moment. People have had enough. They're bored. So let's take a look, because I thought this was funny. Nearly a quarter of Barbie filmgoers in the US hadn't been to a theatre since before the pandemic, survey finds. And like I said, this is just like a no shit moment. Yeah, of course. Obviously. So Barbie brought sporadic moviegoers back to theatres in a big way. A new survey from film tracking service the Quorum found. Quorum surveyed 1,800 Barbie ticket buyers in the US over the past 3 weeks, finding that 11% couldn't remember the last film they had seen in a theatre, and another 11 said that Barbie was the first film they'd seen in a theatre since the pandemic. Now again, remember, it's important to note is that on the lead up to that, they were obviously getting weary of the films, of the offerings that were there, and people were like, this is crap. So when they were forced to take a break, they didn't feel like they were missing anything. And this is the problem with Hollywood. It's the problem with the actors striking. It's the problem with the writers striking, is that you've disenfranchised the audience and people have just had enough. You need to make yourself an asset, something that the audience is going to miss. The pandemic proved that people don't miss you. Nearly a quarter of the audience were like, yeah, I'm happy. I don't need this in my life. I don't need to go to the theatre to be lectured. Again, arguably, you can argue that Barbie did lecture people. This is not the conversation we're having, because obviously these people didn't feel like it was. But they felt like this was going to be entertaining enough, and thus went to watch it. You need to make yourself valuable. There's no intrinsic value in Hollywood anymore. None. No intrinsic value of Hollywood, because it doesn't meet the most basic criteria. Entertainment. Stop with the DEI. Stop with the agendas. Just stop it. No one's interested. I don't want to go to watch a movie that's going to lecture me about the climate. I'm sick of it. I'm bored of it. I'm not interested. I want to be entertained. If you can work that message into an entertaining film, so be it. Fine. But these Hollywood writers, the ones which are striking, are so moronically stupid they're unable to do that now. So there is no intrinsic value left within Hollywood. And this is why the actors striking, saying all this manner of nonsense, people are just like, yeah, I'm good. You strike, we don't care. You burn in hell, we don't give a crap. You burn all your money to the ground, no one cares. No one cares. Anyway, continue this. So that means that 22% or close to a quarter of moviegoers surveyed most likely had skipped Avatar: The Way of Water, Top Gun: Maverick, among other popular post-pandemic theatrical releases, but were enticed by buzz and marketing blitz of Barbie. Again, probably just because it looked entertaining. That's probably why. So the Quorum, which provides surveys on prospective filmgoers' interest in upcoming films, estimated that 22% of total ticket buyers would total around 9 million people who set foot in a multiplex for Barbie and Barbie only. Meanwhile, a healthy 46% of respondents said that they go to the movies all the time, while 32% go every now and again. Again, that's over half the people either didn't bother going or just go sporadically. That 32% of people that go now and again, you are losing already. You're starting to lose them. No intrinsic value. Nothing of value is lost. No one cares. So the experience also reminded filmgoers that they like going to the movies. And among the ticket buyers surveyed, 40% said that the experience reminded them how much they love going to the movies and that they would go more often. However, a larger percentage at 45% said they would like to go more often, but cost is an issue. But remember, cost doesn't actually come into it when it has a value. It's when the value of something and the actual market value don't align properly, right? Like, when I say I genuinely regret spending money, or I begrudge spending money on a film, even if I review it, even if I get that money back from the review, right? It's that intrinsic value in something. Everything has a value. People's time has a value. Financial things has a value, of course. And whether you've wasted your time watching a movie which is not remotely entertaining. So that's also part of it. So that group said it would take another movie as exciting as Barbie to get them to return to a theatre. Exactly. And that proves my point just perfectly. So just 15% said, I don't think seeing Barbie means I will start seeing more movies in a theatre. This was a one-off experience. And again, that's probably because it became like a cultural phenomenon and people were like, nah, fine. Unfortunately, Coram noted that there are a few highly anticipated wide releases coming to the theatres in the next few months, despite the seeming hunger among theatre goers. So the only wide studio release in October, for example, is The Exorcist, Believer, on October 13th, and there are no wide releases at all set for the October 6th weekend. But I just thought this was interesting, because there is no intrinsic value with Hollywood anymore. The actors can strike all they like. The studios can go bankrupt for all anyone cares anymore. The writers can strike and go bankrupt for all anyone cares anymore. That is the general census. The mindset of most people nowadays is just like, who cares? You've lectured us for too long. You don't provide value. It's not even entertaining. But I thought this article and this survey, although a small percentage, 1,800 people, it's nothing. If scaled up and if it stays true to the percentage, the ratio when scaled up is a perfect, it's demonstrable. What everyone has been saying that does these kind of videos for so long, the intrinsic value is lost. Hollywood is no longer valuable. It is no longer entertaining. And thus, no one cares whether it goes down in flames.